Hey guys, what is up and welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, we discuss all things culture and politics, and today we are going to be reacting to some woke TikToks. Yay! Y'all really seemed to enjoy this one last time, so I figured we could do it again because if I have to suffer through it, so do you. But before we get into it, please make sure that you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you feel so inclined, and now let's go down the sorry rabbit hole of leftism.
Just saying, if my 5 to 7 year old art students can correctly use they them pronouns for their peers and accept non-binary kids without batting an eye, adults should be able to do it.
It's the disrespect of the English language for me. That's what it is for me. It's the disrespect of the English language. You know, this argument is just stupid. It's not about that. It's not about how difficult or easy it is to put the pronoun thing into practice. It's not what it's about. It's about truth, plain and simple. And the truth is, you cannot be two people at once.
Bombastic side eye.
And if you can't understand that, maybe you shouldn't be teaching. Next.
Gay baby. It's a gay baby. Gay baby. Gay, gay, gay. Please be gay. Ugh. Okay. Be what you want to be, but be gay. Okay? Thank you. Right? No pressure. No pressure, but pressure.
Bruh.
What the hell was that? Can you imagine if parents said, straight baby, please be straight? Can you imagine the absolute meltdowns that would happen, that would come of that from the left if somebody did that and they were straight and asking for a straight baby? Not to mention, if being gay is truly the struggle that you guys are just so desperately claiming that it is, why would you want your child to be gay then? Why would you want your child to have to go through all of that struggle if it's so hard to be gay in America in 2023? Can you explain that to me? I would never want to make my child anything other than who they are, of course. It's videos like this where we realize where the social contagion of LGBTQ plus whatever comes from. It's weirdos like this perpetuating it on to living beings that are so small they can't even talk. Why are you talking about the sexual preference of a baby? My cat agrees.
Share some of the pretty rainbows in my classroom. I proudly wear my rainbow Apple Watch band every day. My kids know that I love rainbows.
Get a personality, will ya? I'm sorry, I gotta be real. And you know, you can hate me for this, but we all know it's the truth. People like this just have never fit in. They've always been outcasts. And with the liberal agenda, they have found a home. They have found a place where they can now find a personality because they don't have one. They have found a group of people that they can belong in. But the problem is none of it's real. I don't believe that most of these people are actually gay. Sorry. And if you are, whatever. But most people who are gay, you know, don't feel the need to talk about it constantly because that's just a small fraction of who they are as a human. And then of course there's the issue of promoting this in schools. Why do you have to do that? It's like you want problems. Nobody cares that you're gay. Literally no one cares. No one cares that you're gay. I'm sorry. Good for you. Nobody cares. I don't know what to tell you. Nobody cares. That's why you have to push it on the kids. Because literally no one cares that you're gay,
Bruh.
you need to stay in your perpetual victim state. So what do? You shove it on the kids. Because you know that average people are not cool with that. And then you can say, we as gay people, we as LGBT are under attack, see? And then you have found a place where your victimhood can continue to reside. All of that is so manipulative, and I don't even think these people realize that they're doing it. But aside from it being manipulative, it's gross. It's gross behavior because it's at the expense of innocent children. Why can't you just let kids be who they are? I'm sorry, We just don't need to talk about this at school. There's no reason to be talking about this at school. But it's not actually about educating, is it? It's not about educating the children. You're gross because you use children as a way to weaponize your agenda. And that's disgusting. And that's why people don't like this. Like, just leave the kids alone and no one cares. Do whatever you want to do. Okay. I'm just taking a breath to prepare myself for the next one. I don't know what it is. I just know it's going to be awful. Okay.
Fair warning, I will be shirtless and talking about top surgery in this video, so feel free to click off right now. Alright, so these are my top surgery results. I am 3 years post-op, and I got top surgery in August of 2020 with Dr. Catherine Gast. I highly recommend her. These are my scars. They faded quite a bit, and they would fade more, but I don't do a lot of scar care because I like how they look.
That right there. I like how my scars look. This is literally the equivalent of emos in my day. That's what this is. But this is dangerous. This is permanent. This is body modification to an extreme. I've talked about this before, right? Because it's so true. When I was in high school, if you were kind of like alternative and you didn't fit in, whatever, you were like emo and scene. And, you know, you do crazy things with your hair. I had all the colors of the rainbow in my hair. Maybe you had piercings. And if you were really cool, you could get a tattoo. And that was like the whole thing. And in your Twitter bio or your MySpace page or your Tumblr, you know, you would talk about how you were depressed and you had anxiety. And like, that's what it was. And that is literally what this is. This is the same type of person, but now instead of just being a depressed emo kid who can change their hair back, take out the piercings, and go to therapy, we have people thinking they're the opposite gender, cutting off their breasts and their genitals, and that's like the new hip thing when you don't fit in. And it just blows my mind that people don't see that. When these kids get older and they realize this is likely just a phase, you can't just put your breasts back on. This is quite the expensive body modification. And not to mention what that is going to do mentally to these people. It's gonna them up is what it's gonna do. It's honestly just tragic, you know?
I saw a video of a cis woman saying that the periods trans women get are fundamentally different than the periods cis women get because it's from medicine we chose to take, as if that medicine isn't the same shit that gives you your period. Oh my god. And
sweetheart, medication doesn't give us a period. We get a period because we're shedding uterine lining. Why does the left hate biology so much? I wonder if all of these people just like failed biology in high school and they just have like beef with biology. Literally all a period is the shedding of your uterine lining. There's no pill that gives you a period. Are we okay? Oh, I forgot. You know, kids don't learn this stuff in school anymore because they're too busy learning about what being gay is. Don't tell me what a period is. Just stop. But let me tell you one thing. Don't talk to a woman about a period. Don't do it. Okay, this is something women have no choice over. We resent. There is a huge stigma around, and you know, we get on for it constantly by men. Why do you think you can just blatantly lie about reality and that like we're all just gonna like believe it? Like, be so for real right now. Like, do you hear yourself? And you wonder why people find you like annoying? It's all about feminism until it comes to trans, right? Then it's like feminism, women.
yeah, we have to take it, but it's the same stuff. No, it's a little used, but this thing, when it's full, that's 4 months of periods.
Why do you want a period? I'm sorry, the period is a really touchy subject for me because there's just so much stigma around it, and because it's so just not fun that it really, really irritates me that after years of being told that I'm less than because of my period, now men want to come and appropriate it. Now it's cool to have a period, but not if you're a woman, only if you're a man.
And this little guy.
You just called it a little guy. Freudian slip much? I have stated my position and how I feel about the trans thing a lot on this channel, but just in case you're watching my channel for the first time, let me tell you one more time. Do I believe that there are people who suffer with gender dysphoria? Of course. It's a mental illness. It's literally like, it's a real mental illness. I totally am on board with that. But the amount of people who actually suffer from gender dysphoria is so minute that I get really irritated by this social contagion when it starts like presenting itself like this, because I know that like this person is not really trans. So now they're appropriating a really severe, debilitating, and honestly not pretty mental illness so that they can be misogynist is basically what this is. So it not only irritates me because you're being a misogynist and you're being sexist by all this, but you're also being extremely offensive to people who actually suffer with gender dysphoria and just want to live in the world like a normal person. They're not doing all this. They're not doing all that. They're just trying to live their life like anybody else. Sorry, I know I got a little heated on that last one. Anyways, let's move on.
Hi, I'm Livo. I had top surgery 9 months ago. I used to dread getting ready. Dysphoria would always lead to a meltdown. But now it's my favorite part of the day. Top surgery will always be my biggest act of self-care. How too long you better. You got it too long you better. You got it too long you better. You got it too long you better. You got it.
See, now I feel bad again. This is so sad. As somebody who is an addict, recovered, I just understand what it's like to get so lost in something. And when you're just so deep in it, you can't see reality anymore. You know, you're just so far down the rabbit hole that you can't even see the light at the tunnel anymore. You're just so deep. And when I see stuff like this, it's like, I just like, because I've been there, like I can see that this is what that is. Like I can see this for what it is. You know, these are kids. These kids are so young, and there's real consequences for these decisions and this lifestyle and these actions, and we just act like it's no big deal. I just know that there's going to be a day that comes for this person when reality of what they've done and the decisions that they made is going to hit them like a freaking freight train. And unfortunately, you know, the consequences of this lifestyle are so dire and so insurmountable. When that day comes from that person, it's going to be really hard to come back from. I believe everybody can bounce back from a setback, but in this type of situation, you know, it's really hard and really heavy. When you decide to get sober from addiction, there are likely maybe some health things that you might have to deal with, and you might have to deal with some legal repercussions. And usually, almost always, you're going to have to reconcile some really damaged relationships. And I'm not diminishing how hard all that is, because that's been my life for the last 3 years. But you get little wins along the way that signal to you that I can do this. I can get sober and stay sober, and my life will become meaningful. But with this, with transitioning, the physical damage that is done, there is just a lot of cases where there is no coming back from that. And I can't even begin to imagine the mental fuckery that is going to do to some people. And it just makes me really sad, because this person looks like they're just a lost person looking for happiness, and they think they found it, and all they've done is actually make it worse. So it's actually like really sad. And I want to just ask God right now to put his hand on this person and help guide them into a better place, because I think he's the only one that can help a situation like that. But anyways. Why do you have to have the kids? I've been to many drag shows. I get it. It's an art. You don't have to understand it. You don't have to like it. That's fine. I get it. Whatever. But why? Why the children? It's just weird. It's so weird. Like, why do you have to do that? Why do you have to delegitimize your own art and craft by making it weird and bringing children into it? Next.
Let's talk about the sleep gap. Did you know that Black Americans do not sleep as well as white Americans do?
Fuck, dude. Come
the Center for Disease
on.
Control and Prevention
conducted
and published research in 2020 on sleep in the US. The results showed that 43.5% of Black or African Americans had trouble sleeping, compared with 30.7% of white respondents. Poor sleep is a public health problem. Whether it's because of historical stress, maltreatment, or health inequities, Black Americans do not sleep enough. This sleep gap is worsened for people that are low income, disabled, or undocumented. Looking back to the enslavement of Black people in the US, fatigue has been used as a measure of—
I don't want to hear it. I have had horrible sleeping issues and insomnia my entire life. I am a quarter Mexican, so it could be that, but I don't think so. And I just can't. I don't know. So the news is in. Sleeping is racist. So ain't nobody getting out of this one.
I am a woman. I am a real biological transgender woman. I was born this way. I will hold my space, and I will fight for the rights of transgender children.
How can you be both a biological woman and a trans woman at the same time? That literally doesn't even make sense. The girl mathing is not mathing. Is it because I am a real girl and you're a man? Is that why it's not adding up? Not even trying to be shady. I'm really not even trying to hate, but like, let's just bring it back down to reality. Okay? What you just said literally makes no sense.
There's one thing that I wish white people understood. It is this. Your whiteness is the heaviest thing about you. It is so heavy that it outweighs any and all other marginalizing identities. Now, this is not to say that other identities aren't heavy. This is not to say that other identities aren't hard to carry. But it is to say that your whiteness in a white supremacist society like the United States is the key to care, empathy, dignity, support, justice, and freedom that people of color with the exact same marginalizing identities as you cannot access because they are people of color. Your white is heavier than your woman. Your white is heavier than your trans. Your white is heavier than your disabled.
I genuinely feel so bad for people who think like this. You can be anything you want to be. I am not denying that leveling up in the world is harder for some people than it is for others, but that's reality and that's life. And that's just how it's been for all of human history, regardless of your color. I just feel sorry that there are so many people who are literally convinced that this is reality and that this is what they're up against. Because it's not. You don't have to live in this place of like victimhood. You don't have to live there. You can do whatever you put your mind to. And no one is saying that that's going to be an easy battle. But I promise you that white people aren't out to get you. I can't speak for every white person, but I know and can think of. We're not out to get you, babe. I promise.
Not this, but that. Here's a gender inclusive tip. Instead of assuming that only trans and non-binary people experience gender or talk about gender, instead develop the awareness and metacognition that gender is always present and everyone experiences it. Gender is all around us and society enforces it upon us from the moment we're born. There's gender in the Mrs., Miss, or Mr. you call your boss. There's gender in the designation of which bathrooms are for which folks. There's gender in boys don't wear that color or girls don't play that sport. There's gender in you hearing a stranger's voice on the phone and deciding if you know they're a man or a woman. My point is, you are aware of gender, you just take it for granted.
Duh. Of course there is.
Bruh.
What? What kind of non-point is this? Like, duh. No, literally nobody is saying that gender isn't real. Obviously, gender is real. Obviously, we interact with our gender every second of our lives. It's just so insane. I can't do this anymore, guys. So that's just gonna be all for tonight. Well, guys, that was quite the journey. Thank you for embarking on it with me tonight. What do y'all think about all this madness? Make sure you let me know down in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and make sure you follow my social medias, including my TikTok down below, because I do make different content on my TikTok. It is still politically and culturally involved, but it's more lifestyle stuff as well. So make sure you follow me there and you can keep up with me in more of my day-to-day life as well. That is all. I will see you guys in a new video soon. God bless the USA and God bless you. Peace.